Later on, after a while, I began to have and change convictions. Like the Lord began to give me different convictions. Like I said, I wasn't seeking after God. I wasn't. Thing is like this. A leper cannot change his spots. They can't. Leper can't change his spots. The same way a leper can't change his spots, you can't change your heart. You can't. And I couldn't change mine, no matter how much I wanted it. It's just like a cow having grass or meat in front of him. A cow is not a meat eater. He's not, he don't eat meat. He likes grass. There's nothing you can do. You can put all the steak in front of a cow, which would be kind of, wrong for you to put steak in front of a cow. That's wrong. You're wrong. All right, switch it. You put chicken in front of a cow. Okay? Don't put his family members in front of him. Put chicken in front of him. You can put all the chicken in front of a cow, and yet and still he won't desire it. There's nothing you can do to make him want it more. You can put a little seasoning on, a little seasoning salt. You can do like I did when we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. You can dip it in a little hot sauce. Or you can put it in lemon pepper. Or you can put it in, what's that, Asian zing or something like that. You can dip it all you want, but no matter what, however you dress it up, no matter how much you dress it up, it's not desirable to that cow. He's still gonna desire the things that he desired beforehand, which was that grass. Unless something naturally or supernaturally changes his desires. Because he can't make himself want chicken. Can't. That was me. I couldn't make myself want the gospel or want God. I couldn't. It took a supernatural thing beyond myself, a supernatural power beyond myself for me to even come close to God. This is my heart I'm talking about. Thing is, it's hard. You can't do it. No one else can. The only person that can change your heart is the Spirit alone. And that's the reality I came with. I couldn't do anything to change that reality. The Bible says, if any man wants to come to me, I have to draw him. John 6:44 says that. If anybody wants to come to the Lord, the Father has to draw him. Which means nobody's coming unless the Father draws him. And it wasn't until I was about 13, 14 when the Lord started tugging on me, because before then I wasn't pursuing him at all. After I became a believer, I got clicked up with a bunch of Christians, got a community and whatnot, started hanging out with some Christian folks. Did the Christian thing, do Bible studies, have Christian lingo, use big old words and whatnot, like I'm smart and whatnot, And I did all that. We sitting up, battling. Hey, man, let's talk about God's sovereignty. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, but, hey, man, I bet you don't know about penal substitutionary atonement. What you know about that? Like, brothers like, I don't know what that is. That's a big old word. That ain't in my dictionary. Like, I did that. And, it was great for a good minute. Like, it was great. I was on fire. I loved it. It was joy. But then it got to points in my life where I stopped feeling that joy. Began to get depression, began to have stress. And after a while, like I'm thinking like, man, I thought this Christian life was supposed to be joyful. I thought this life was supposed to be amazing. I thought I was supposed to have an abundant life. I'm not feeling any of that. Like, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I'm in Bible college. I'm writing all these summaries and I don't care about none of this stuff. I'm reading the Bible and it looks like black words on white pages. There's no joy in this, man. I'm tired of this. That's how I began to feel after a while. Because it just was stress on top of stress. I gotta love people that I used to didn't care about. I gotta call a sister that I found attractive my sister. Like, not my blood sister. No, a friend. I gotta call her my sister. I don't even get close to her like that. A brother, a guy that I've never met before, I gotta call him my brother. Well, if I don't like him, I don't know him. He don't know my mom, he don't know my daddy. I'm calling him my brother. Like, I call him my brother. This is weird. I gotta love on people who hate on me. Like, I gotta serve people. I gotta be a leader. It's too much, man. It was easy being a believer. It was easy being a non-believer. It's too hard. And I wanted to back down. God was like, no, man, I got something for you, man. I got something for you. And nobody prophesied on my life or anything. No, it's just doors just kept opening up. It was like, bro, you gonna lead. You gonna have to lead. You just have to lead. God is like, hey, I'm sorry that everything ain't what you thought it would be on earth, but you'll get much more in heaven. But in this time, you have to lead. And I began to lead. It gets harder. I gotta serve. People don't care about servanthood no more. I gotta serve ungrateful people. I feel like Moses. I'm like, man, this is tough. People think I don't know where I'm going with my life. I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, man, I'm walking around in the wilderness, but I'm walking by faith. And so I ended up writing songs like You Ain't About That Life because people would say things on Twitter and all this other type of stuff like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's doing. And I'm like, man, they don't know the hard work that takes to try to fight to be a leader or even a pastor or a youth leader. They don't know how much hard work it takes to be those things, to become that person. It's cool. It's all right. The people that talk a lot, they're just not about that life. It's all right. But I have to find encouragement to the Lord because I realize, man, the Christian life is hard. It's difficult. It ain't like one of those things where everybody just smiles and everything is okay. No. It's one of those things where it's just like you have to fight for your joy. You have to fight for it. It's almost like somebody almost has it. Somebody else has it, or Satan has it, and you have to fight to get it back. That means you have to wrestle. It's gonna take a wrestle. I remember when I was in college, man, like I had to change a couple things, man. I had to look at myself. Like when I became a believer, I began to know a whole lot of knowledge. I began a whole lot of wisdom, man. My mentors told me a whole lot. Lecrae told me a whole lot. BJ told me a whole lot. Tripp told me tons. And I realized, man, like I knew a lot. After a while, though, I became arrogant, prideful, tried to tell everybody everything I knew. Like I thought I was like the Christian police. Oh, that's wrong. That ain't in the Bible. Let me take. No. Because in 3 Thessalonians it says this, and I was wrong. There ain't no 3 Thessalonians. For those who thought it was a 3 Thessalonians, shame on you. Shame on me because I thought it was 1, 2 before then. But seriously, like, man, I just learned, man, at the end of the day, man, it's not about how much I know. It's not about if people like me. It's not about that. It's not about me fighting for people's approval. If you live for the approval, you'll die for their rejection. It wasn't about that, man. It was about me looking towards who God was and seeing him being glorified. And that's not easy to say. It's not. Because there are days I wake up, I don't want to serve my brother. There are days I wake up, I don't want to say hi to such and such and act like everything's okay. There's days where I was like, I don't want to read my Bible. Genesis is just too long. I want to read Ruth or something. I don't know. James. I don't know. Jude. It's quick. But there's times where those times come, and I got to continue to fight for my joy. When you battle an unbelief like that, it takes you away. God is like, I want to stir your affections for himself. And that's what I have to fight for. So it's cool, man. We be on the stage and we be jumping around. That's cool. But at the end of the day, if we're not fighting for our joy and for God to be glorified and for him to continue to be seen and made famous, if we're not on the stage for that reason, then we're doing all this for nothing. If we're in these groups and these 3-person groups and banging on this music and we're hollering out 116 and all that, but yet our lifestyles look messy, then it's bad. It's bad. It's like you sacrificing improper sacrifices, and God is not impressed. He's not at all. That ain't nothing but the devil. Put me on mute. He don't want to hear this. He don't want to know anything about that life. No. But I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to get out y'all way, man. Like, I'm not going to stand here before you and try to look perfect or anything. I'm not going to stand here and be like, yeah, I got all of this stuff figured out. No, not at all. I'm like you. I'm in your position searching. I'm searching for my identity in him. I wake up sometimes, I don't know who I am. I wake up sometimes like, man, I don't like who I am. I don't like to see what I see in the mirror. Well, I don't like what other people see. Let me create something else so they see something different. Sometimes I wake up like that. That's the reality. This life is hard. What I want to see one day is just a bunch of believers, not just running around like yelling Jesus with their hats turned to the side and crosses on their backs, and Christian tattoos. Like I want to see more than that one day. I want to see Christians who are not afraid to be real. who are not afraid to show the real side. All of you have certain sides in your life that you have not revealed to people, that you have not confessed about. All of you have secrets in your life that you have not repented about. All of you have certain masks on, and you don't take it off until you get home. All of you show a certain side that you only want certain people to see. And God is like, I see it all, and you'll never find rest at all. You continue to have to fight for that approval. You'll never find rest at all until you just give it up. Give it up. You're a Christian. If you're a Christian, if you're a believer, just give it up. He sees it. It's old. It's old news. He sees it. It's going to be revealed anyway. He sees it. And for those who are not believers, you're going to get tired one day. You're going to get tired of fighting for people's approval. You're going to get tired. It used to be me. I used to wear like 5 chains because I saw it on TV. I did that before 2 chains, I swear. I didn't have 2 chains, I had 5 chains. And all of them was fake, I swear. I tried to buy the best shoes in the world. I got them from Walgreens, or Walmart. Now when you live in the hood, Walgreens sells shoes. Don't laugh, it ain't funny. I had to wear them things, man. I swear, they was like rubber, now it was like plastic. I was fast, I could run in them shoes, but I couldn't stop for nothing. My feet was hurt, looked at the bottom of my foot. But I swear, like it gets old after a while. You can't please the world. You can't. You can't. God is like, hey, and even if you try to please God, God is like, hey, it's cool. I accept you. Not because of what you've done, but because of what somebody else has done. You don't have to worry about that. If you read John 3:16 and it does nothing to you, if you can read John 3:16 and that verse doesn't have you bawling in tears, realizing what God has done for you, as he's died on the cross because you couldn't. Yo, I would check the status of your lifestyle. I would check the ID on your birth certificate. I'd check the date on your birth certificate because you might have not been reborn. My hope is this, man, that we walk out of this theater real. We walk out of this theater being real with ourselves. Some of us don't have brothers or sisters that know anything about our lives. Some of us don't have anybody in our lives to check us on anything. We just, go to class. I'm not gonna tell about what I just thought about that girl, but she fine. She fine. And you just out there getting beat up by Satan, man. God is like, man, yo, come to me. I'm tired of you being fake. I see everything. Stop. Just stop. Because you're not only hurting yourself, but the people around you. And so, standing before you, man, it's an imperfect being. I'm imperfect. I'm going to always be imperfect until I go with the Father in heaven. I'm going to always be imperfect. But I'm not going to be fake about it. I'm going to be real about it. I'm just like y'all. I like to sit down, chill, and eat Funyuns, fried chicken, cornbread, macaroni and cheese. Oh my God. Kool-Aid. Ramen noodles. Oh, ramen noodles. Yeah. The cayenne pepper, y'all know about that Creole seasoning. Put Creole seasoning on everything. Yeah. Be real. Be real. This is all I can give you, y'all. This is all who I am. I'm not perfect. The people I roll with ain't perfect. Cray ain't perfect. None of us don't know how we got here. None of us. We just try to be faithful with the few things that God has given us and glorify him in the little things. Because everybody's going to see you. He's going to see everything that you do. Just be real. You got to fight no more. You ain't got to impress nobody no more. Just be you. And grow in the faith. Grow. Grow, mature, but you need to do that in community, not by yourself. A man that stands alone dies alone. And you will die alone if you're alone. So, let me pray for you real quick, man. I'll be out of here, man. I appreciate you guys. Father, God, Lord, you've used everyone here today. Whether it's the tech team, God, or whether it's the light man, or God, whether it's the stage manager, or whether it's the cleanup crew, Lord God, whether it's the liaison, God, or whether it's the guy who opens the door, or the greeter, God, or the person that just says hi, God. You've used everybody in a different way, God, and you certainly used me, God. I haven't came today at all seeking to give a really, really deep message, God, not at all. I came here to give a simple, short gospel. Simple, though. Simple. Sometimes it's too deep, they don't get it. Simple gospel, God. God, I'm just here to preach Christ crucified, to give myself up, to expose my life, so that they can see you, God. May I be empty that you may be full of honor and glory, God. God, I pray that individuals who don't know you, I pray, honestly, Lord, I pray that they know you, that they see you, God, that they can stop fighting for approval. They can stop fighting to hold up this mask. They can stop fighting. God, I pray that they walk away